Well, there's a couple people that are coming forward and saying, I haven't heard anything from Chrissy Teigen yet. One is Farrah Abraham.
Oh.
Farrah Abraham wrote her first post on Medium. By the way, noting that Chrissy Teigen used Medium. Here's what she actually wrote. Now, you're going to have to speak Fairese because you'll hear. In response to the Chrissy Teigen post sent to me today, and I just had a moment to respond, she writes admittedly to make wrong remarks and leverage with this new writers app Medium, which I must say is pretty cool for real writers, journalists, apps, educational institutions, news outlets, or those who may want to be paid for posting, venting, or apologizing. So many uses and a gift of getting paid for it and the time it takes.
Wow, she is stream of consciousness to a T.
So Farrah Abraham learned about...
Words. She just said nothing, by the way.
Well,
literally said, I'm on Medium.
Okay, brace yourself, okay? Because the feeling you just had, you're going to have again and again and again. Farrah Abraham speaking on Medium, which she just learned about from the Medium post from Chrissy Teigen, where she apologized for her treatment of other people. Farrah Abraham says... I'm just going to pick out some of my favorite parts, okay? She says, as you're asking yourself, did Chrissy ever apologize to Farrah? Hypocritically, as such as this time, she has not. As a reminder, Chrissy ended her lighthearted post so similarly as her past remarks with taking care of her family and herself. So I understand the time it will take to be really beyond her past behavior.
I think that's fairies for... Oh, God, I've already lost it.
She didn't apologize. That's it.
Yeah.
She hasn't apologized to me, and it might take her a little time to kind of move forward.
Okay.
That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
On she goes, quote, I don't believe, Farrah Abraham, speaking of Chrissy Teigen's apology, I don't believe only I deserve a confident apology like the other strong woman today. I truly have no one else taking care of my family. I realistically need time for myself, who must take time psychologically from my doctor's orders to be the strong woman I need to be to keep this life going I've fought so hard for.
What?
So in her Medium post, what you're missing is that she talks about how she has been working very hard. My brain and therapy upon my sessions with one doctor after another doctor, getting me back to the Farrah I love, I miss before my confused state and body that is so reactive, even with the medication, pain management, some neurotransmitters will never be. Okay,
so please stop. You're hurting my head.
I know.
When do we get to like an actual statement about anything?
There isn't really. She just basically says, I'll just paraphrase what I believe it said. Farrah Abraham talked about how in her life she has been a victim of bullying, of shaming, of all kinds of things.
Sure.
And Chrissy Teigen was one of the people who did that.
I can see that.
And she has not yet received a personal apology from Chrissy Teigen. As Chrissy Teigen said in her own Medium post apology, she would be reaching out to people individually.
Yeah.
Farrah also says it's not just me she needs to apologize to.
So
she also needs to apologize. She also needs to apologize to Sophia, her daughter, because her daughter has had to live with the trauma of a mom who's suffering from the trauma of people like Chrissy Teigen.
Okay.
So that's what I got from, I'm telling you, it's 6 paragraphs and it's all that.
She got excited about this Medium business and went to town clickety-clack.
She sure as you know what did.
You know, this whole opportunity of Chrissy Teigen having another apology on Medium presents all sorts of opportunities for people. This is the media culture we live in. It's kind of like you throw something in the water and then everybody, everybody's got, we're doing this.
Right.
So we're a part of that life cycle or that biome or that terrarium. I don't know. Anyway, whatever the analogy is, everybody can sort of come at this. So in that, this is if we're not going to call it a teachable moment, an experience we're all living through and sharing, this is something that, such as maps,
and
we
US
all
Americans
bring ourselves to. So it's no surprise to me that Farrah Abraham is bringing herself to this. And it's really the same Farrah Abraham that we've come to expect, which is a lot of words and not a lot of conclusions, maybe.
Well, and what I also find really interesting is at one point in this Medium post from Farrah Abraham about Chrissy Teigen's Medium post that was an apology, she says in her own Farrah way that what Chrissy Teigen was doing was trying to glom on to other celebrities to try to raise her own celebrity. Bradley, why is that funny?
Well, and absurd, because that's Farrah Abraham to a T.
Exactly.
Farrah Abraham is very much in the same world as Chrissy Teigen in terms of her business model.
Yeah.
Right? She's making money off of an audience that she has coalesced around her.
Right.
Right? Which is just celebrity. It's just a different format. But like Farrah Abraham is just another version of Chrissy Teigen. People may think that like Farrah Abraham is like a certain kind of version of Chrissy Teigen, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But she's really the same thing. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, a lot of the people that she... Oh, I don't know. This is such a huge conversation. And so there's so many places to go. So that's why I'm having a hard time like picking one. This is such a complicated story because there's so many moving parts and it really depends on where you stop. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show that like her apology on Medium, if that's what you want to call it, is probably not going to be the end of this story, especially if she continues to try to have a career in the public eye. Like people will always bring up this moment, which that's okay because like I feel like we should be able to live in a world where we get to be imperfect people. Like we're not like perfect versions of ourselves, nor should we be held to that standard. But that also should apply to everyone. So that would imply that you wouldn't, Chrissy Teigen should have extended that grace to this person as well. Right. So like it really, but then there's also a part of me with Chrissy Teigen that I feels like there's a certain segment of the media or people online and social media that have an axe to grind with her simply because of who she represents, not necessarily because of who she actually is. Basically, what I'm saying is I think there's legitimate criticism to be had about Chrissy Teigen and what she's done in the past. But I also think that we're all complicated people. And you got to wonder why people seem to be so focused about her.
Right.
When there are like umpteen examples of people who are exhibiting this kind of behavior. But then I also appreciate that like the news media loves a good juicy gossip story. And that's exactly what this is.
Right.
But it's also like who she represents, which makes it even more complicated, which is why I think it's so fascinating and why we probably talk about it and probably why we'll continue to talk about it, because it's, one apology or one post on a website is not gonna alter things. And who knows what else is out there.
It is just sort of a glimpse in a study of human behavior. If I were Oprah Winfrey and I were interviewing Chrissy Teigen, I think the first question I would ask her is, why did you wait until it was all exposed to start your apologies to directly to the people? If you knew that you had been this person and that you had hurt people.
Yeah.
Why did it take it being exposed to the public to drive you to make those amends?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are a lot of questions.
That's the first one that nags at me.